it's Anja here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today in this video we are making a chunky tea light holder. So we have a glass jar, and I have made a cozy for it, and you put your candle in, light it of course, and you put it in, and it makes the most beautiful patterns because it's so chunky. So I will put a picture in or a little bit of a video in now to show you what it looks like in the dark, of course, when the candle is lit. I think it looks really nice. As you can see, it throws lovely shadows on the sides there, and I think it makes it really cozy. So yeah, I think this is a great present for someone. Now, before we actually start with the tutorial, I would like to say, please do go to my Facebook group, Ophelia Talks Crochet, and become a member there, because I would love to have you there, and then you can show off all your projects that you've made from my channel in that group. So it will be great to see what you create from my tutorials. And also please subscribe to the channel, because obviously then you will get notified of the new uploads that I do. So don't forget to ring that bell as well. Now you will need a glass jar. Now these are the Douwe Egberts coffee jars that I keep. I just take off the paper, I put them through the dishwasher, and look, that sticky stuff is still on there, but I'm not worried because that will help to keep your cozy in place, so that's fine. I just need to scrape off this bit here, but that's easily done. Okay, so this is my new jar, Douwe Egberts, the larger one. Then I am still using this cord here because I have it. I bought far too much for that project bag cal that we did. And so yes, I'm using this one. It's Bobbiny. It's called Junior cord, so it's a cotton cord. It's 3 millimeters, and I use a 6.5 crochet hook to go with that. Yeah, there you go. Now, you will have seen that I started this project in the previous video when I was having my afternoon with Karen, and I just started doing this, and I just came up with it basically because I needed a present. I still need that present, so I've got to film this so I can give this one away. And somehow it just worked out. So I was doing this while we were chatting. I was trying it out. We were discussing it, how it would work, and it worked. So I thought, instead of trying, obviously there was no tutorial in the previous video because it was just us chatting. I would do a tutorial for you so you can make it as well. So let's get started. Okay, put these to the side. Let's get our cord ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started with a magic circle. And for a magic circle, I put a cross around my fingers like so, with the end here. I go under this strand here, pick up the back strand and bring it through, slightly twisting your hook like so to make a little loop underneath. Can you see? Loop. Then going back to that working yarn and bringing it through, making a chain. So I'm going to make another chain because I am going to do half double crochets, and so we need that height. Now we are going to start working over the 2 loops, yarn over into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops on your hook, and we do the same thing again. And yes, in the beginning it's a little bit, sort of have to hold on to a bit more than you would usually do, but that's fine as long as you keep it all nice and straight and flat. Okay, so we need 9 half double crochets. So the first chain is going to count as 1, but we are going to disregard that one from now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to do 8, and then the last one will be our chain. 5, 6, and 7. Now try to pull the cord really carefully. I have got enough here, but if you don't have enough, give it a little pull so you have enough to work over your both strands there. And that's 8, is it? Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I'm going to hold this in my fingers like so, so keeping it flat, pulling carefully so it stays flat, pulling even more. You will feel that it will give a little more again, and we are ready to close up our little circle here. So the way I do that is I go under this V here and I do a slip stitch. That slip stitch then becomes the top of my 9th stitch, and that was that chain that we did to start with. So now on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 V's, and that's what you need. We are now going to do an increase row. So you start with 2 chains. These 2 chains count as our very last stitch of our row. So we're just going to disregard those for now. Now we're going to start doing 2 stitches in each V that we encounter. So again, half double crochets, because you know I love those. And we pick up the V's, both loops of the V's. There we go. And we do 2 half double crochets in each V around. I know you're tempted to pull really quickly, but don't. Pull slowly from the cord, from the skein of cord. And yes, this does require bigger movements, more effort. So if you're not used to using this cord, please take regular breaks. There we go. And this one here for another 2 stitches. Now here we see this is the last V, and that's where that chain is coming out of. So this is our last stitch from our round. We are just going to place 1 half double crochet in that last V. The second half double crochet will be this chain, and now we are going to go under here, because a chain without a slip stitch on top is not a stitch. So we are now just going to create the stitch by doing the slip stitch, and that now forms the top of that chain, making it a half double crochet. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 stitches. We've doubled our stitches. Now we are going to do another row of increases, 2 chains. Again, we're going to disregard these chains, and we are going to do a 3rd row increase for a flat circle. That means you're doing 1 stitch in the first stitch that you encounter and 2 stitches in the next stitch. Again, we are still doing half double crochets. Now, when I was doing this with Karen, obviously I hadn't done this before, I just started it. I was always trying to measure it as well. So I was just putting it on there thinking, yeah, so the first 2 circles are fine. I now need another round all around to do, to cover the whole base. So that's what I did. I just, kept measuring. So if you don't have the same jar, all you need to do is make sure you cover the base with your flat circle. And then you will need to see how many stitches you have, and then you'll have to come up with a stitch repeat that will allow for that amount of stitches. So when I did this 3rd row, I had 27 stitches. I'm just counting to see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, see, this is what you need to do. I'm talking too much, so I need to make sure that I've done the right thing. Okay, so then once I had those 27 stitches, I then came up with a repeat for a fancy stitch that I could do all around the sides. And because 27 is divisible, oh well, by 3, I thought the V-stitch would be perfect because I like doing it, and I thought that it would give nice holes for the light to come through, you see. And all in all, it just worked perfectly. I finished it after that video. You know, we had another little chat, didn't do much crocheting, and then she went home. I had my dinner, sat down and finished this cozy, and then straight away I was like, oh, I know this is a present, but I really need to try out the little light in there. So I lit a little candle in there. Oh my goodness, and it was so sweet, as you saw in the beginning of the video, of course. So yeah, there we go. Stop talking, Anja, and start concentrating. Okay, so I've done 1, 2, 1, 2 all along. Now I'm in that last stitch here where I have the chain coming out, and indeed I need to do 2 stitches here. So let's do that. And then of course I need to skip the chain under the V here, and I'm going to do my slip stitch. So basically this is the size of my base. Okay. Can I show you like that so you can see that actually it's just about the same width as my base. So that worked out really well by doing the half double crochets and by doing the 3 rounds. Now I have been known to have to do half double crochets, double crochets, half double, you know, to make up for the to allow for the size to make up for the jar that I was using. So there is a way of you know, altering this to your, obviously to your jar, with the different heights of the stitches that we have at our disposal. So now we have 27 stitches going all the way around, and the first row I always like to do a little edge. As you can see here, we've got the edge, and I like having that. So I am going to do a row of half double crochets in the back loop. So 2 chains for my starting chain. Then here you start picking up the back loop. Now normally when I did I do it here? No, I didn't. When I do like a bag, I will pick up the back loop and the third loop, this one here, to make it really sturdy and to avoid holes. But in this case there is no need, so I just picked up the back loop, and you know, that sort of made it a little bit holey. That's fine, because obviously it's not like we're going to have small bits falling through the little holes. Also make sure that you have the good side, the front, towards you, okay, facing towards you, and then you will get this effect where your side will be standing up with your inside on the inside, so that when you put your jar in, it's the right way. So we are now doing 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, and that means you're doing 27 half double crochets. There we go. I have made some granola. And I can smell it. It's cooling down at the moment. Oh my goodness, I can smell it. I put loads of desiccated coconut in. Oh my god, I can't wait to have some. So don't rush, Anja, don't rush. The granola will still be there. it's going to be my reward when I've finished filming this. Oh dear, the things we do, eh? There we go. So, nearly there. Right. Okay, so that last stitch again. This stitch is going to be the stitch for that last stitch, so we're not going to do another one because obviously then we would have 28 stitches. So we go under the V here and tighten that a little bit. There we go, do a slip stitch. Now, it's a thing I do. I just keep trying it on. Every row I'm trying it on. But I think it's not a bad thing because that way you know that you're doing it right and you know that it will fit. But it also shouldn't be too loose either. So as you can see, I have to pull it, but it fits and that's fine. Okay? Look, it even stays on. So you don't want it too loose, and obviously you don't want it too tight either. So yeah, there is a little bit of manipulating that's needed, but that's fine. That's okay. Right, so now we are going to get started with the pattern repeat of the stitch. So we're going to do 2 chains. This is going to be our last double crochet of the round, so we'll just forget about that for now. This is our first stitch here. So we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and in the third one, we are going to do a double crochet. So we're changing stitches and double crochet, a chain and a double crochet. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 1, yarn over, insert in the same stitch, yarn over, yeah, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So that's our first stitch. So I'm covering this up because we'll sort that out later on. So this is our repeat. Okay, let's get some cord out here. And because we've got 27 stitches, we have a repeat of 3. We are going to be doing 9 V's all around. And the 9th one we'll have to sort out here. Okay, 2 stitches to skip, yarn over, into the third one, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, yarn over, into the third one, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. I mean, this is going to be a present that you could make in, you know, within, I'm sure you can make it within an hour. To, you know, if you need a present, all of a sudden, you know, you need a present, you've got someone's birthday, you've got, anyway, you know, you need a present there and then. If you have these jars, I've been keeping them now. I've got a little shelf in my hallway and it's full of empty jars. And yeah, I mean, even if they're not the same size, like I said, it's easy to adapt this pattern to that by doing your base and then working out how many stitches you have, or make sure you have got the 27. I mean, to be honest, you can fudge one. You can have an extra one here without it, you know, looking funny. So, yeah, there are things you can do. But, yeah, if you find a jar that you know that you could possibly make this for, it's ideal to have as a, you know, a gift, you know, if you need one at short notice. So, I have come to the end of the round. Here you see I have 2 stitches, so that's what I've got to skip. The third one is where I have to work into, that's fine. So it's got the 2 chains coming out of, so I'm going to put the first double crochet in there. I'm doing the chain, and now I am going to go and do a slip stitch in that stitch just past the chain, and look, you can't even tell that that's where we started from. So now we are going to slip stitch into the next chain space, and we are going to get started again. Now sometimes I think this looks like the first one, so I'm just going to do 3 chains and another one. I know this is different from how we started here, but it's just because of where I was here. You know, if I had to put the other one there, it would have made it off center. So I'm just trying to make sure that the pattern is as, you know, symmetrical or whatever, or similar everywhere as possible. Okay, so whichever way you find is looking the nicest, but I think this way looks good as well. And then you'll just do your slip stitch under here when we get there, and it'll look the same. Otherwise it would look a little bit funny, I think. So in this round and the other rounds as well, you are just going to place your your 1 double crochet and the chain space and 1 double crochet in the chain spaces that we created in the previous round. And that will make that round go even quicker. So in total, we are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of V stitches. There we go. So I'm nearly there. So it's 9 V's every row. And I'll just show you how to end and start the next row again, and then I will leave you to it for the next couple of rows. Right, there we are. So this is my last V that I'm doing, and then all I need to do here is skip those 2 chains, go under the 3rd one, which isn't that easy because it's your chain, so to speak. So try and pick up the 2 V's and leave the bump behind. There we go. Come back with the, yeah, and there we go. Okay, so it looks uniform enough to be able to do that. So now again I am just going to do a slip stitch into the chain space, and that puts me back into that position where I was earlier. So I'm going to get started with a chain 2, then a chain for the chain space basically, and then another double crochet. So that's how you are going to do your rounds as well. So I will see you when you have done your 5 rounds of V stitches for the last round, then to get started for ending the cozy. So I have finished my 5 rounds of V stitches. We're just going to try it on again because I forgot to do that earlier. So what you do, this looks very small, but it does work. So what you do is you put it on one side and you just pull it over the other. There we go. And just pull, and it just sort of stretches around it. And you pull it all up. There we go. Okay, so this is the height I wanted. So now I need to do a finishing round, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do half double crochets all around the edge so it fits. That's good to know. Always important to know this. And I've only been crocheting about half an hour now, so this is yeah, a very quick gift indeed. So we are going to just, wherever you finished, I did a slip stitch and I'm now just going to do 2 chains. Then here in the chain space, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. In between the 2 V's, I'm going to do 1 half double crochet. And this is how I'm going to continue. So in the V's, I do 2 half double crochets. In between the V's, I do just the 1. And I thought that gave me a nice sort of even border. it could have been better, I think, but this is the best way I found of sort of dividing my stitches over the round to make it look neat. And of course, because we are doing 3 stitches for every V-stitch, we should have our 27 stitches again. But don't worry, should you not have your 27 stitches, because it would be better if it was a little bit tighter at the beginning, because at the end here, because of course the glass goes in as well. So that doesn't matter. So try and do this round quite tightly to just bring it in slightly, but don't worry if you don't. Oh, sorry. There we go, nearly there. This is a lovely project. I think 35 minutes and it's finished. Okay, so we started here. I had one here, so I'm just going to do my slip stitch in this one here. Okay, skipping the 2 chains and just bringing it closer together. There we go. Of course, you're not going to be able to sew in the ends, so I'm just leaving that one where it is there. Or what you could do is use a smaller hook to just loop it through. And of course I need my scissors now. So here we go. Cut this one off. And I will use a smaller hook to loop it through. So I have here just a 3, and I'm going to take this inside out. And what I do here is I pull this again really tightly, and then start with your hook, just pulling it under some cords that you see that you can pull it through. There we go, like so. And generally I just do that until the end is gone, but obviously I might just stop it now and I'll continue after the video. And then here I'm going to do the same thing, so bringing it to the outside, because we've got it inside out at the moment. You want to make sure you make that end disappear along your stitches here. And I just, yeah, this is the best way to, you know, to sew in your ends basically, because obviously you cannot put that cord onto a needle to start sewing it in. There we go. So once again I shall stop it here, but I will continue after I finish the video. So put it back inside out, and let's see if we can fit it round. Just a little bit of pulling, that's fine. There we go. So we've got the base nice and neat, we've got the sides, and we have the edge here which goes in a little bit, which is looking good. So I now have 2 of these, and I think I might have to make a 3rd one, because of course this one was going to be a present for someone. So I'm going to give this one, put a new candle in this one and wrap it up and give it away. So thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This is like the quickest present ever. But look how lovely it looks in the dark. I know I can't really capture it, but there we go. It does look really, really nice in real life. And after all that crocheting, I did reward myself with my, yeah, there we go, with my granola. So in here is the granola that I made. I'm having it with cacao nibs, with coconut yogurt, and with banana on top. Oh, and it's delicious. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. If you've enjoyed this video, please do consider sharing it with others. Thank you so very much for watching, and I also hope to see you on our Facebook group. Join me there.